So hello and welcome everyone to this new tutorial session. In this video, we will learn about Python modules. So we start off this video by understanding what are modules in Python. Then we will discuss what are built-in modules. After this, we will also understand how we can create our own Python module. And in the very last, we will discuss different ways of importing a module in Python. So without any further delay, let's jump on to our very first topic. So basically in Python, any file with .py extension is referred as a module, and some collection of such modules makes up a Python package. So let us look at some of the instances of how we can work with modules. So while working on any type of Python project, it is not a good habit to keep all your files in a single file. So instead, we should always divide our code into function classes and variables, and we should keep them in a separate Python file with a .py extension, and these files are known as modules. So basically, module is nothing more than a Python file which contain different type of definitions. Moreover, Python allows us to import the code from one module and utilize it in another Python program. So in this way, the code is easier to understand and we can utilize them in an organized manner. The key feature that a Python module offer is code reusability. So we don't have to define our code again and again. We can define it at one place and then we can reuse it whenever we want. Now Python already comes with a variety of built-in modules that are included in the Python standard library. Now these built-in modules include many resources like managing the OS, making a database connectivity, and even working with networking. Now most of the built-in modules are written in C and then they are interpreted with the Python interpreter. Now if we want to fetch the list of all the built-in modules, we can use the following command. So basically we can use the help function. So help is also a built-in function. If we type help and then in the parenthesis, if we pass modules as an argument, it will return a list containing all the built-in modules. So let us look at the list of all the modules. Now for this, what I will do, I will open a new terminal. So very first, what we need to do, we need to open the Python shell. So I will simply type Python and hit enter. So now I am in the Python shell. Here what I have to do, I have to use the help function, and within the help function I need to type modules and hit enter. So it is showing this thing. Please wait a moment while it gathers a list of all the available modules. So here you can see we got this list. So there are variety of built-in modules available in Python. Now if we want to fetch the information related to any module, again we can use the help function. So if I want the information related to any module, for example, I have this string module. So let me type help function first. Now within the help function, we need to pass the name of the module. So I want to fetch the information related to the string module, and let's hit enter. So here you can see it has returned the information related to this module. So you can read all these details. Now other than this, we can also fetch the list of all the names which are defined within the module. Now for this task, we can use the dir built-in function. So for example, I want to fetch all the names from the math module. So what I have to do, I have to first use the dir function, and within the dir function I have to pass math as an argument and hit enter. So here you can see it has returned a list. Now this list contains all the names which are defined within the math module. So now I hope the concept related to built-in modules are clear to you. Now that we understand what are Python modules, let us take a step further and understand how we can create a module. So as discussed earlier, a module is nothing more than a Python file with a .py extension. Now for instance, we have a Python file named sample.py. So here sample.py is a Python module where sample is the name of the module. Now to understand this concept better, let us create a Python file and utilize it as a module. Here you can see one example. So here I have created this info.py file. Now what I have done in this file, I have defined three functions. So very first function is this get first name. So it will take first underscore name as an input and it will return the result as an output. And then in the same case we have this get underscore age. So it will return the age. And in the last we have this get full name function. So it will take two arguments. Very first is the first name, then is the last name. So So it will concatenate both first name and last name and return a full name. Now once we have created a Python file, or we can refer it as a module, the next step is to utilize it. And for this we need to understand how we can import a module. Now it does not matter whether it is a built-in module or it is a user-defined module. We can import any module using the same import statement. So there are different type of ways that in which we can use the import statement to import the data from our module. So very first method is by simply using the import statement. So how we can do this? Let's see an example related to this first. So here you can see one simple example. What we are doing in this simple example, first we are importing the info module. So as I told you previously, the name of the file which we created is info.py. So if I want to import this info, I have to write in this way. First is the import keyword and then the info, which is the name of the module. So in this way we can import the complete module in this main.py file. Now how we can use the functions defined in the info module? For that we have to use the dot operator. So here what we are doing, we have defined this variable first underscore name, then we are using the name of the module, then in between we are using the dot operator. So after the dot operator we can use the name of the function that we want to use. First we are using this get underscore first underscore name function, and we have passed Tom as an argument to it. So we are setting the value of first underscore name as Tom. In the same way, we are setting the value of age as 65, and then we are defining the full name. So the value of full name will be Tom Hanks. And after defining each of these variables, we are using the print function to print the values. So let me execute this Python program. So I will simply click on this run Python file option. And here on the screen, you can see the result. So first name is Tom, age is 65, and full name is Tom Hanks. Now one thing which we have to make sure before executing or before importing the info module is that we have to make sure that both main.py file and info.py file are in the same directory. So in my case you can see info.py and main.py file both are available under this code directory. So after using the simple import statement, let's discuss about the next import statement, which is import statement with the renaming. So basically we can also import a module and assign a new name to the module, and then in the program we must use the new name which we have defined. So this name will be the temporary name and it is referred as an alias name. Now how we can define this import statement? Let's look an example related to it. Here you can see one example. So in this example, first we are using this import statement. So I have write import random. Now here we are using this random built-in module which is available in the Python standard library. After defining this import random, we have defined this as keyword, and then after the as keyword we have defined the alias name which is rand. Now what we are doing in this simple Python program, we are using the random module to generate some random number between a given range. So the range will also be selected by the user. So the user will define a starting and ending range of the integer value, and based upon that given range we will use the randint function to randomly generate one integer value from the given range, and then we are asking the user to guess the number. So we are taking input from the user, and then we are simply using the if else statement to check whether the guess made by the user is correct or not. So let me run this code. You can understand the execution better from there. So first it is asking me to enter a starting range. So let me enter the starting range as 2, and then I have to define the ending range. So let me define the ending range as 9, and now I have to guess a number between 2 and 9. So let me guess it as 7, and let me hit enter. So here it is showing bad luck. The random number was 4. Now let's move forward and let's look at the another method of importing a module. So the next method includes the use of from import statement. Now rather than importing the entire module, we can also import some specific component from the module. For example, so in our info module we have defined 3 functions. For example, I want to import only one function. I can do that using this from import statement. So let us look at one example related to it. So here you can see one example. In this example, let's look at the first import statement. I have started the import statement by specifying the from keyword. So after the from keyword, I have specified the name of the module. So the name of the module is info, and then we are using the import keyword, and then we basically need to define the component that we want to import from that module. So I want to import this get underscore full name function. So I'm utilizing this function to extract one full name based upon the input given from the user. So I'm taking first name and last name as an input from the user, and then I'm utilizing the input as an argument to this get underscore full name function, and in the end I'm returning the result. So let me run this code first. So first we need to enter a first name. So let me add Tom as a first name. Then we need to define the last name. So let me add Holland as the last name. So let me hit enter. So it has returned the full name, which is Tom Holland. Now let's move forward and let's understand how we can import all the names at once from a module. So in the previous section, we have seen how we can import only one component from our module. But what if we want to import all the components from the module? So what we can do in such cases, we have to use the from import statement only. But instead of defining the name of the single component, we can use this asterisk. So here this asterisk basically implies that we want to import all the components, or we can say all the names defined in the module. Then after importing all the components from the info module, what I am doing in this program, I am taking first name, last name and age as an input from the user, and I'm using the get underscore full name function to define one full name and get underscore age function to define age. So let me run this code. Here in this code, first I need to enter a first name. So let me add again Tom as a first name, and then I have to enter the last name. So I will add Holland as the last name. After this, it is asking for age. So let me put 25 as the age. And here you can see the result. So full name is Tom Holland and age is 25. So in this way, we can create and utilize modules in Python. So I hope you got sufficient information related to modules in Python. And with this, we have come to the end of this tutorial session. In the next module, we will learn about packages. So thank you for watching. We will see you in the next one.